Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Worlds 2025 is fast approaching. Legend of the Force has essentially reshaped the meta overnight. Players are scrambling to find out the strongest decks, though it hasn't really been too much of a surprise of what the strongest one is. And people have also been trying to figure out the best decks and the best ways and cards to counter them. What's actually going to survive into the new format has yet to be seen, though there is heavy discussion around what we're going to be seeing at Worlds and all the tournaments post Worlds as well for the Legend of the Force metagame. I'm James from Make an Opening, and today I'll be breaking down the best aggro, mid-range, and control decks likely to carry over from set 4 into the set 5 metagame, plus two brand new spicy leaders that I believe could make some serious waves and have some serious impact at the Worlds 2025 tournament. Let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. We're like 10 away from 1,000, so pre-fire. Thanks so much for that. I love you guys, and there is a surprise for you guys at the end of the video, and then another one later. So the first decks we're going to be talking about heading into Worlds 2025 are going to be the aggro decks. Now, first up that I'm going to be talking about is going to be the Queen herself, Sabine ECL. Despite getting absolutely no help from set 5, this brand new set, she's still very much a contender. You can still lose games by getting PO'd. You can still lose games by getting record. You can still lose games whenever Sabine flips with the Darksaber. It's still highly possible. She's still a really strong leader. She is still the queen of aggro, at least when it comes to the ground arena. We saw tapering off at the end of the set 4 meta that she was trying to vie for some sort of dominance in the space arena as well, though space arena aggro has been completely dominated by a different deck, and this is a perfect segue. Oh my god, James, you're killing it. Perfect segue into the second aggro deck I'm going to be talking about today, which is going to be JTL Vader Yellow. This deck is hot. It took the meta by storm over the last month and a half, 2 months. It has been the most budget-friendly aggro deck that you could possibly be playing in the meta right now, which is super awesome. It's getting a lot of traction. It's not losing any steps. It actually did gain a couple more brand new cards to play with. Again, this is one of the cheapest decks that you guys are going to be able to see into the meta. So if your plane ticket and Airbnb cost a little too much and it's hurting the wallets, check out my TCG Player affiliate link downstairs in the description. Put the deck list into the shopping cart, click buy, spend barely any money, and use my link to support me, your favorite Star Wars Unlimited content creator. Don't be a Luke. Do not pull a Luke. He did a bad thing. Don't be like Luke. Now we're going to be talking about control because, in my opinion, there's really just the one main control deck that's going to be finding, decent footing heading into set 5, and that's going to be Qi'ra. She remains to be one of the most dominant forces in Star Wars Unlimited with the introduction of Legends of the Force. Ever since she entered the game during set 2 Shadows of the Galaxy meta, she's been playable with both Energy Conversion Lab, standard 30 HP green basis, and with the rise of Data Vault, she's been very popular in Data Vault, with basically all of her success from the set 4 metagame coming with her being paired to Data Vault. 240 top 8 appearances for Data Vault throughout set 4 is ridiculous. Whenever you notice that second place base is Tarkentown and it's like almost 100. It's not really close. Data Vault is the dominant base at the moment, and that may hold up heading into set 5, but only time will tell. So one of the biggest compelling upgrades to Qi'ra and just blue-green villainy in a nutshell is going to be the new legendary Darth Vader unit. There's a case to pivot into ECL just to play him and have that guaranteed ambush. Vader does warrant a build around for Qi'ra. A lot of Qi'ra decks at the moment are not running Timely Intervention, which is a card that you can play for 1 to give a unit ambush out of your hand, or smuggle for 2. That would make Vader a 7 to 8 cost, 7 to 8 resource ambush. When you look at his ability, 7 to 8 resources, it's a little bit more fair. Like if you're smuggling out intervention to use Vader to 2 for 1 your opponent, I don't think your opponent's going to feel as bad versus if you just straight up on turn 5 with 6 resources, maybe even sooner if you're ramping properly. Just use ECL to ramp out and ambush out Vader and go 2-for-1. I think Vader is going to be a lot more impactful in an ECL base where you can guarantee ambush him out for 6 resources. It is early to tell. I'm recording this on the 10th, so 2 weeks till Worlds officially starts. I'm still doing testing myself with, Data Vault and ECL decks, Qi'ra, and other people as well. If you're able to ambush multiple Vaders, Data Vault does feel like the safest bet because you get that 8 HP cushion. But ECL, we might see, especially with the rise of mid-range and Han2 and all these force decks, you might not need the extra HP. You're going to also need to understand Qi'ra's playlines because this is like the leader to plan for going into Worlds. There's only one leader that's going to be held at a higher importance than Qi'ra. You probably already know who I'm hinting at, but we'll talk about him later. Or her. It could be anybody. He's been sitting here like a gargoyle. This is Tommy, but his nickname is Shrimp. Mid-range is going to stay hot and strong with Quinlan, Voss, Tarkentown, and Anakin Blue. I'm only really going to be mentioning Quinlan Tarkentown because I do feel like he is the stronger Tarkentown user heading into Worlds over Cad Bane. Though definitely don't sleep on Cad Bane. He also got a couple cool new additions, but I'm not going to be talking about him. I'm going to be talking about Quinlan. Quinlan does get some really exciting new tools heading into set 5. We get Adigalia, we get the constructed lightsaber. You can even potentially pivot into an entire red force package and, utilize the broken card Qi'ra Mundi alongside Force Throw. You would also get access to Mace Windu and Jedi in Hiding as well. Jedi in Hiding, further amplifies the discard package that you're going to be running with Quinlan by default. I am currently testing Quinlan a lot. He is up there as one of my 2 leaders. I'm currently back and forth on what I want to take to Worlds to represent myself as Mega Opening. And it's also kind of stressful. This is the second large-scale tournament I've done outside of drafts, pre-release, store showdowns, and stuff like that. My first one was a Burleson 1K, which you guys have probably seen the video. It's an older video. I played Thrawn. It didn't go so well. And this is my second ever large-scale tournament. First time ever traveling super far. I mean, like, as a kid, I went to Florida for Disney World, but like, I'm getting on a plane for the first time ever. Like, it's gonna be a movie. Let me know if you want to also see some vlog type content from Worlds. I got the camera, I got a little tripod, I can go crazy. Come on. So I also mentioned Anakin Blue, and I didn't specifically say Anakin Colossus, which was picking up a lot of steam as well heading throughout the set 4 metagame. I expect him to go all in on the Blue Force package, so ditching the Colossus and switching into the 28 HP base. I don't think Anakin has a whole lot of reason to go into Virgin's Temple for the 25 HP. I think he's perfectly fine running the 28 HPs, and you get constant force access, getting access to a bunch of really big plays. You're in red and blue, so obviously Force Throw, that's a staple, that's a must. Cheer It, Shatterpoint, Mace Windu, Qi'ra Mundi, a bunch of really good plays that you can do in red-blue hero. And I think Anakin may be the best red-blue hero that you could possibly play heading into Worlds. Cheer It's cool, but his leader side is basically, do nothing. Kit Fisto's cool and interesting, but it also leans heavily on like Jedi tribal synergies. Not really a huge fan of that. Rey discard kind of just feels like the Rey deck wants to do what Han's doing. So like Han's a better version of Rey, but the way Anakin decks, sort of play and get piloted are in a lane of their own. And because of Anakin's leader side ability, it makes him a very standout deck. No other deck plays like him. So is he going to be the best red-blue hero deck? Probably not, but he's the best of his kind, if that makes sense. Before we get into the big overlooming cloud over the Star Wars Unlimited community, let me talk about my set 5 sleepers. Decks that I think are going to make a pretty big splash and turn some heads at Worlds. One of them is not really much a sleeper. Mother Talzin, I feel like a lot of people are talking about Mother Talzin and Obi-Wan Kenobi being the 2 strongest leaders coming out of set 5. Mother Talzin, for sure, it's the premier villainy force deck. Her synergy with the new force mechanic is, actually incredible. You have Force Choke, Force Throw, Shatterpoint, Sorcerer's Blast, Talzin Assassin. She really controls the board and flips on curve, like an absolute boss. The only thing that you could probably do better would be playing Maul. Wu recently dropped a video with Red Blue Maul Force, but it didn't lean into Force units. It leaned into units with big butts with Virgin's Temple. It was a pretty cool video. So if you want to watch that, you can watch that as well. But I think Talzin is just overall better and a little bit stronger in that scenario. She plays to control the board, and then as soon as she flips, she goes on the offensive because in a perfect world, you have no board against Talzin when she flips, and then she goes crazy and fast down your throat, kind of like how Quinlan boss decks play, except villainy and red blue instead of red yellow. So she's pretty cool. Now this is my sleeper pick. It's Kylo Ren. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Kylo Ren is really cool. He's really fun to play. I feel like if anybody has played Kylo Ren for at least 5 to 10 games, they can understand why he's fun to play. I got hooked as soon as I started playing him. I honestly got hooked as soon as he was revealed, and in the Star Wars Unlimited community Discord, I actually am the one that created like the Kylo control like thread so other people could talk about it and we can brew and throw ideas back and forth. I'm really into the guy. He's awesome. It's very speculative, but I think he has really good potential. Data Vault and ECL are, the main points of interest because he's a blue villain leader. You want to pair him with green. He's a 7 deploy leader. You want to ramp, so you want to pair him with green. ECL and Data Vault both work in that scenario. I've even seen like yellow splashing for snapshot reflexes. I've seen a couple red lists as well. I personally prefer Data Vault just for the flexibility, but there's everything can change. There's versatility. He has a really good power ceiling. He has really fun like play lines. Flipping him and throwing a bunch of upgrades on him and making him a big beast, like that's just a fun like power fantasy that people have when playing card games. I think just how fun he is to play alone is going to warrant a high play rate for him at Worlds. Is he going to do really good with that play rate? Only time will tell. Shrimp. And finally, the elephant in the galaxy, we have Han2. I'm going to talk about him. Of course, I'm going to talk about him. This guy is a freak. He's a beast. He is the most talked about, most tested, and most feared deck currently heading into Worlds. And for good reason. FFG's mid-range focus has made Han2 perfect for abusing the early high-impact plays. You can drop a Ogdo Bogdo on turn 1, pretty good. A 1/4 Grogu pinging every turn on turn 1, pretty good. A 3/3 conditional Sentinel unit, turn 1, pretty good. All of these plays aren't supposed to happen in SWU. Over the last 4 sets of design, no plays this strong were supposed to be happening. With FFG's new design philosophy in mind, the mid-range decks are getting a little bit stronger because you're noticing a lot of power increase in these 3, 4, 5 drop units. Even the Force unit in general, you're getting 2 4s with the Force with no downside. And the Force unit, like the Force trait, the Force mechanic, used to really mean something, and you had to basically pay extra and build your deck with a lot more restrictions to utilize cards with the Force, like Force Throw, which is why it's been held in check for as long as it has been. Force Choke, Force Lightning, lightsabers that required to be put on Force units. List goes on. I think it's a good design philosophy. I like stronger units. I like big flashy plays. I'm a big fan of it. I don't like that the number 1 premier deck that is going to be representing the Force mechanic and all the crazy Force synergies is going to be Han Solo. Like, it's a little bit of a flavor loss, but what can you do? Han Solo doesn't find ways, to not win. Basically, Han Solo, no matter what iteration, has always been a meta staple. And as we're seeing the decline of Han 1, we're seeing the rise, the catapulting value rocket shooting through the atmosphere of Han 2. I'm only covering blue, but he could be played in blue and green. I've seen both. I personally think blue is better. I think blue is more consistent. Green is a lot more high rolly and casino-like with Keller and Beck, U-Wing, Yoda. I think blue's better. I think it's more consistent. I think if you want to play it at a competitive level, blue might be a little bit more of a safe pick. But I mean, it's going to be the #1 deck at Worlds. You either have to beat it or you have to join it. This is SWU, baby. Welcome to Worlds. We didn't ban Force Throw. Welcome to Worlds. So whether you're prepping for aggro, control, or something wild for Worlds, these are all the decks that you want to watch. If you're looking for a priority list of decks you want to tech against, build around, plan for, I personally have it as Han2, Qi'ra, Vader, Quinlan, Anakin, Sabine, and then like the new guys at the bottom, right? Talzin and Kylo. Just because they're new, a little bit more unpredictable. You may think with that reasoning, you might want to bump them up a little bit. Maybe you do. I don't really know. With these 8 leaders in mind, I have personally gone ahead and made a gauntlet style, thing for you guys. I have made 8 deck list templates for all of these leaders. They are chock full of a deck list and a sideboard. All of these deck lists are not published, but they're unlisted. I have links prepared for you in my brand new Discord server that I am launching for 1,000 subscribers. I know it's a little bit of a pre-fire. I'm like 10 or 11 away after this video is uploaded for a little while. Maybe I'll be at 1,000. Let me show you guys what that looks like. Well, guys, this is the brand new server. I hope you guys like it. There will be a link in the description downstairs from here on out of my community Discord server. You're gonna see all the links to the gauntlet decks here in the links section. Also in the Star Wars Unlimited section, I have a deck list, forum where I have every single deck list. That way people can talk about it, ways they're countering it, or if they're personally piloting these decks at Worlds, they can talk about what cards they like, don't like, cards they're adding, cards they're removing, and all that fun stuff. Here's the demon himself, for example. I've put a lot of time and effort into this. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to have the updates and previews automatically linked in here, places for everybody to hang out, flexing on your X's with the pack pulls. Marketplace, I haven't really set this up at all, but if you want to try and sell a card to another member in the community, this is a good way to browse and see what people are peddling, you know what I mean? All my uploads will be linked here automatically for future reference, and a live stream section just in case we go live. I've been thinking about doing some live streams here and there, some World testing live streams, maybe once or twice a week heading up to Worlds, and then post Worlds, live streams with Star Wars Unlimited or just like regular games in general. I play video games as well, so if anybody's interested, let me know about that. But here's our brand new community. I hope you guys like it, and I hope all of you guys head downstairs in the description and join up. It's going to be a really fun time. I'm really excited to connect with you guys a whole lot more. Let me know in the comments if you're going to Worlds, if you're not going to Worlds, what you're playing anyway. But if you are going to Worlds, what are you playing? What are you brewing? Connect with the community. Let people know your deck list, ideas, everything. I'm super excited for Worlds. I'm excited for SWU. Let me know what's going on. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 subs. Maybe. Pre-fire. Pre-fire. I'm James from Making Opening. Another really big 1,000 subscriber special is coming up soon. I can't guarantee a time or a date, but soon. Why does it look like my audio is out of sync? Shit. Peace out.